So I wrote Slave to the RX a couple years ago. I feel like I've made some great progress since then to be at a better place, so where I'm not quite so much of a slave to the RX, but I'm still a slave to the RX. I just think that my brain's in a better place today, and I've been able to, thanks to the doctor I have now, I've been able to cut some of the scripts off of the current script list for me. Which scripts are I am now, I'm not going to tell because it's none of your freaking business. But anyways, let's talk about this. So I got on Vicodin to begin with when I was in my 20s because of an injury. I was prescribed it, not told about any abuse. Not given any of the warnings that it could be abused. And then I quickly built a tolerance, and then that turned to Percocet, then Oxys, and then I was getting them off the street because my tolerance was so big, and then I had to go to rehab to get off the Oxys. I got out of rehab, and I spent 2.5 years sober, and then when I relapsed again, couldn't find Oxys on the street anymore at that point, and all there was black tar heroin. There's only one or two ways to do it: smoke it or shoot it. And I heard if you smoked it, you wasted it, and I never wasted drugs, so I became a heroin user. That's how it went from zero to nothing. That was over a course of years, okay? So let's look at this. So now, in 2014, I was able to stop using heroin because of a prescription called Suboxone. And the problem is if you don't get high off of it, it just takes away your withdrawals and cravings. But if you don't do a rapid taper off of it or a slow taper, if you don't taper off of it and you get on maintenance with it, that means that you are pretty much stuck on it. And the thing is, when people come off of Suboxone or methadone, they are 80% more likely to relapse, 26 more times to overdose and die. And so the thing is, it's okay, so by taking a pill once or twice a day, and it's sublingual, goes underneath your tongue, it soaks in. Okay, so if that's going to keep me from going out and using heroin again, help me. It's what am I going to do? Yeah, I'm still stuck on it. I will say that. 7 years later. And the thing is, though, if I tried to use an opiate, it wouldn't even work, and I'd go into withdrawals. And it really, I could overdose easily on another drug because I wouldn't even feel the effects. And the thing is, though, if I don't take Suboxone, I will get incredibly sick and have extreme opiate withdrawals. I've lost it before, my Suboxone before, and it is sheer hell on earth. I tried to come off Suboxone once, and with a rapid taper, and then 29 days later I was still sick. And so I'm still a slave to this RX. And so in the poem I talk about, so that's why I'm saying buprenorphine is the main ingredient in Suboxone, and Subutex is another medication. Just like Suboxone, it just doesn't have as many blockers in it, but it also has buprenorphine in it. And naloxone. Naloxone is the main ingredient in Narcan, which they use to revive people from overdoses. And so, the other prescriptions I'm talking about, Adderall, I'm okay, Suboxone is a downer, Adderall is an upper, so it's like a speedball. So I'm like, okay, that's like a basically illegal speedball when you think about it. But anyways, and then now they won't let people take any anxiety medications like Klonopin or Xanax with Suboxone anymore, because I guess people have had respiratory arrest. So, like, that, I was able to scratch those off of my list of medications I take. So, but it's like, who got me on all of this to begin with? It didn't start on the streets. It started with doctors prescribing pain meds to me when I really did not need pain meds for that long. Actually, I was a good actress, I will say. I mean, I played those doctors back in the day. I don't now. I am honest with my doctors. And I have two really great ones. But I just hate it, the fact, this system, Big Pharma, who has created these drugs, like oxys and stuff, and I am now still paying the price years later, and I'm still a slave to different prescriptions. And if I don't take these prescriptions, I don't function. And if I don't take my bipolar prescriptions, I don't act right. Okay, I am nutso. So why do we can't we use some more plant medicine? There's got to be another way. That's all I'm saying. There's got to be another way. I haven't figured that way out yet, but I am going to figure it out someday. But, yeah, slave to the RX. So, how did I become a slave to the RX? It all started with a prescription I was giving legally of Vicodin for an injury when I was 24. I am now 42. Basically what happened was Vicodin, after a while, my tolerance grew and it wasn't enough, so they changed me to Percocet, and then to Oxycodone, and then the Oxycontin. Then I wasn't getting enough to fill my tolerance, so I was getting off the streets as well. And then I was able to get clean for a couple years, but when I relapsed, there weren't any oxys on the streets. And of course, no doc was going to prescribe to me after I had been clean. And so I found black tar heroin. There's only two ways to do black tar heroin: to smoke it or shoot it. If you smoke it, you waste a lot of it, and I never wasted drugs, so I shot it. So the only thing that's really helped me ever to get off of opiates is Suboxone. And I will say, of the medications, I won't confirm or deny the others, but I'm still on Suboxone, and I have been off of heroin now for 7 years, and meth and all the hard drugs. And Suboxone has the ingredients of buprenorphine and naloxone, and that's some of the I mentioned in the poem. And naloxone is the same ingredient in Narcan that they give to people who have overdoses. And so basically it's a blocker. So naloxone keeps my opiate receptors. It blocks all other opiates. So if I use opiates on it, when I take my Suboxone, which I take every day, and it has a 24 to 72 hour half-life, they wouldn't even work, and I just go into withdrawals. I get sick. They don't work. And Suboxone takes away my withdrawals and cravings. I am grateful for this medication because I don't know if I would have been able to come off of heroin without it. But I'm a slave, because if I don't take Suboxone, after about 24 hours, I start to get, kind of feel crappy. But after 48, I'm in full-blown opiate withdrawals. I've lost my Suboxone a couple times, and I remembered how much of a hell it is to be in opiate withdrawals. So I'm a slave to the RX. And it's just funny to me that now it's just a replacement. it's a replacement for other drugs, you know, like, so just because it's legal and doesn't, so now it's okay. Big Pharma, they're the one who gave me the Vicodin in the first place. Then I went on a whole horrible hell of opiates, and now I'm back still a slave to them. Sucks.